Hello everybody. I'm sorry you're not going to see me today because I am a mess. That's why sorry for my fingernails not looking the way you're supposed them to look. You can see my nail polish is chipped, but I'm trying really hard to get rid of all the paper confetti in my house, and it's driving me nuts. And because I have to bend and pick there in some areas, the only way I can remove them is just by picking them up one by one, and it's horrible. It has a big effect on my back and my level of pain and everything. And also we are in a cold snap. You probably know that there's been a cold snap. I mean, people in Texas who haven't seen snow in a long time are seeing it. So let me say hello. Hi Elaine, hi Sonia, hi Jessica, hi Beth, hi Berdell, Sharon, Gail, and Cindy. Okay, now before I get to the whole thing, I need to first actually show you a bit of something. And it's not that I am trying to make you absolutely purchase stuff from my Amazon influencer store. I mean, I'm going to actually give you a tip about these textures. Myself personally, when I managed to budget a little bit longer, I don't even buy them on Amazon. So if you're not aware, this is my Amazon influencer store. Hi Lane, hi Diane, hi Panda. This is my influencer store, and let me switch to it real quick. And I'm trying to go through it at least a couple hours every week. And the only thing is that it's not arranged in any kind of order, because unfortunately Amazon brings up whatever is the list I added something to or I edited. But as you can see, I'm trying to keep, my OCD kind of helps. I'm trying to keep things very well in like departments. Now, if you purchase from my Amazon influencer store, your price will be unchanged, only that I'll get a few cents for each item that you're purchasing. So that helps with my expenses with keeping up the channel and buying materials and all that. But to give you an example, I'm trying to keep them, like, for example, in the resin one, and you can even see in most of them it says how it's organized. So when you're looking for something, you can go directly to that area of this, let's call it department, right? But anyway, let me, what the heck did it do here? It got me in here without the, but let's go to the textures. In order to do this effect, you're going to have to do a satin slice. Now, whenever you do a satin slice, you need to have, there are two very important things in a satin slice, and that is the texture, and the second thing is your blade. Now, the textures that I have here are all arranged as in the cool tools first. Then you'll have some, give me a second. There's some scalpy ones. I put here all kinds of sponges because unfortunately you cannot find Clayo anymore on Donna Cato's website. Then there are the red ones and actually I see that I need to remove some. Lisa Pavelka's, the makings, then all kinds of folders, and that's pretty much it. I didn't put any Helen Braille because it's hard to get them on Amazon, and you can find the Helen Braille on PolyClay Play. But let me show you for this specific type of satin slice. And if you did not, I have an older, give me just a minute to give you the reference. Hey, and there we go. This is an older tutorial that I have about the satin slice, and let me share it in here. And I explained a little bit there, but essentially for this specific one, when you're trying to make it look pretty much like an English lace with embroidery, you need a texture that allows you to do satin slice. That is one thing. And if you want to do satin slice, you need a flexible texture because you're going to have to fold it. The second thing is you need a texture that has fairly deep and fine prints, and I'll show you the ones that I recommend. I personally, as I said, I recommend the Cool Tools textures for this because they are exceptional as quality, and not only that, but they have they can be more expensive. The large ones, they are $18 compared to the smaller ones that are $8. But considering their quality, it's all worth it. So as I said, when I actually get a little bit of money put aside, I go and I buy them directly from Cool Tools because it's a little bit cheaper, not by much, but you save more on the shipping and on the cost. Excuse me. But what you can see here, there's something that they have, the jewelry artist element textures. And these are pretty much super fine. As you can see, what you have to be careful is that you want an innate. That is, it has to be, your pattern has to be the hole in the texture, not the raised part. Like these ones are the raised parts, and you want the ones that are not raised. Let me get to them because they have them on a lot of them. They have them both as what's called innies and outies. And the fact that they have these long textures is awesome whenever you want to do bracelets because you don't have to keep patching your texture over and over and over. And the other thing is that these are for PMC, for the precious metal clay. So they are a much better quality than the regular one. And as you can see, they have beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff. Let me get out and actually show you what I'm talking about. And see who else is here. And answer a little bit. Oh, but I don't have to use it anymore. The thing is that it's kind of like glitter. I don't know if you ever had a party with confetti in your house, but it's like glitter, and it goes everywhere. And also the fact that it's got a lot of electrostatic charge, and I have 2 of my 3 cats are long-haired. If they get in a spot that still has some confetti, it's gonna stick to their fur, and they're going to carry it all over the place. Hi Lane, hi Diane, hi Panda, hi Ellen, hi Judy, hi Marietta, hi Carol, hi Hazel. Yeah, I saw that you have A lot of snow in Madrid. That's unbelievable. Yes, the Sculpey texture sheets can also work, but let me show you what I'm talking about, the cool tools. So this is one of their small tiles that will work fabulous, absolutely fabulous for what we are trying to do today, because it looks very much like English embroidery. And you don't, one of their best ones, that's one part of the jewelry artist fine line. As you can see, it has very, very, very fine lines that nevertheless are etched very deep, very, very deep. Now, don't think that these are the only I talked to them and they told me that the only textures that they have that are oven proof are the ones that are blue. And I do have one because I got one for liquid clay. So it's these ones that are oven safe. Don't try to use the gray ones in the oven. So these will work really nice. And honestly, I got this because for anything that you want to do and make it look like actual metal, these are fabulous. Let me actually show you, because you don't even need to sand it once you have your let me grab some silver to show you. Once you have your clay very nicely burnished, don't think that you can relay just on your machine. Okay, let me get this through the machine a few times and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, number one, when you try to work with these, and I know I'm getting a little bit off track, but I'm sure you'll appreciate these few tips. Number one, of course, if you want it to look very, very metal-like, your best clay choice is Pardo. Remember, I made some comparisons in the past, and you can see some tutorials. The one that looks very much like metal is Pardo, because the mica particles in Pardo are very, very small. So you don't see the mica particles at all. The other thing that you need to take into consideration is that your clay has to be super well conditioned if you want to work with this, because you want it to be, if it's too hard and if it's not soft enough, you don't have to make it too soft. But if it's not soft enough, then it will not go all the way, because these lines are so fine, it will not go all the way to the end of the line. And let me grab a little bit, because your next thing, and this is strictly for whatever you want to do, smaller pendants of something. Your next thing that you want to do is to burnish before applying it. You want to burnish it really, really good, because that will eliminate your need for sanding. And of course, you won't be able to sand if you have raised areas. But again, these are made for precious metal clay. So obviously they are made for metal jewelry that looks all nice and fine and stuff. Then again, I'm going to put just a drop of Armor All so that it can come out properly. And then let me get just this one. And use your fingers first to push it well in, and then grab a cosmetic sponge, because once it's pushed in you won't get a shadow thing, but make sure that you press really good. And then I will do exactly like for a satin slice in order to not get stuff all messed up. I'm going to actually fold the texture. I don't know what I had here. But see how beautiful and delicate and very metal-like. So once this is baked, and of course you can just cut it however you want to cut it and make a pendant out of it. And once it is baked, just buff it a little bit, and then you can apply some more metallic wax if you want. But if you do it this way, if you buff it just a little bit, it will look, even without any kind of wax, it will look very metallic like. Okay, and this, of course, it is very usable for if you want to do like a combination of metals, like a filigree of, let's say, silver over gold or gold over silver, however you want to do it. And I will show you again using satin slice. And of course you need to be very careful, make sure that everything went in properly, because you saw I had a few lines that weren't covered very good. So make sure that you have all the design filled in. And I'm not going to actually use gold. I'm going to use, let me see if I have maybe a little bit of black, because it's more, nah, let me just use a mix of gold here that I have, because it actually shows you better. Okay, I'm going to just place this here, press it really good, flip it, press again really good, and then fold my texture, and there we go. It looks prettier, honestly, it looks prettier if you use like 18 karat gold on silver instead of this. But you can see, you can get a metal on metal look using these specific, and they have several. They have some with the tree of life, they have some with hearts, and some with roses. I did not get the hearts and the roses. I preferred these ones that also have some flowers and some lilies and stuff, because I thought they look really neat, because you can do actual settings, you can do bezels with them, with the you just cut out this part and you have a cabochon in the middle and a beautiful metal-like setting. Another type that you can use for this kind of Valentine hearts, it's something like this. This is a hibiscus, and very careful because they have, this is one of them that they have in both innies and outies. You want the ones that, you want the inverse of this one, practically. Not the one that I have. There's one that's backwards, where these lines that are on the edge of the petals are inside, not outside. So not this exact one, and I think I have it on the Amazon. Let me check. And they have this one in small and in large. So this is the size of the small, this is the size of the large. But as you can see, the large is long enough that you can do a bracelet without having to keep, you know, patching up. This is why it's a good thing to have at least one of these. And then I'm trying to find this one in, I know that it was somewhere. I'm gonna have to go look. They don't always have all the models on Amazon. That's why I said I prefer to go on their website directly. And another thing that you might want to put aside and get one of is one of their, hi Nita, one of their edges things that are also for jewelry, for precious metal clay. And this is one that's finer, and this is one that's a little bit bulkier, for more bulkier jewelry, but it is beautiful no matter what. And let me actually show you how it looks like on. Let's go a little bit thinner. But this looks beautiful to make bezels with. And let's get, I don't know, let's get this one because it looks very nice and thin and all that. And all you have to do is to just cut the line and use it as a bezel. You don't even have to use all of it, all the width of the design. It's going to still look like, oops, still look like metal. Well, of course, because I had both of them, never. But see how you have very beautiful precious metal style stuff to use as bezel for a cabochon. And as I said, you don't even have to use all the width. You can just simply cut somewhere here. The trick is, don't cut straight. Cut it a little bit under in a diagonal, because that way you'll be able to very gently bend it down, and that's going to make a beautiful, because let's say we have a cabochon. I get this, it's not a cabochon, but it can give you an idea. So you have a cabochon, and then you can just simply place a nice bezel. It's going to look very much like metal, and all you do is gently fold down that edge that you cut under, and it's going to look fabulous. As you can see, looks very, very much like metal. Hi Nita. Hola. And this one, as I said, is a little bit more bulky, but for this specific Valentine's thing, you can still use it. I honestly prefer this one for jewelry bezel thingies, and for satin slice with more embroidery type effects, I prefer this one. One of them I got it as a present, this one, and the other one I bought. But as you can see, for example, here I am going to use, because it's got some flowery stuff, and I'm going to most likely use this, or this one would work too, because it's got all kinds of little leaves. Thank you, Casimir, la mulți ani. But I'm going to use this for the main part of the heart. Now I'm gonna have a surprise for you. Give me just a second to get this in the machine. The surprise that I have for you, I had this for a while actually. Trish sent it to me. Sometimes whenever I do put in orders, she puts in other things. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. This one is the metallic red. Hold on, it's not this one that I wanted to use. I wanted to use the red glitter. I just grabbed the wrong one. If I find it. This is not it. Where the heck did I do? What did I do on my... There's my red glitter. Because at one point she said, you know, I don't usually work with glitter. But I thought, and some people do like glitter, but what I thought is that for this specific, you know, Valentine's Day, and what I like about the red with glitter is that the glitter is very, very delicate. It's not one of those glitters that goes in your face. See, it's very delicate. It's not tacky. So I said, why not use this? Just give me a second to get it through the machine. And yes, the red, I had it already conditioned last evening, but I wanted to go through to it again, because to explain one more time why you have to yeah, your best bet is to have several good quality textures, Hazel, and then the thing that you want to get, and you can get them on Amazon, or I suggest you get them from PolyClay, is the makings textures. Especially, I'm OCD'd, so I always try to get the full collection of something. Okay? But you don't have to get the full collection of something. I'll show you in, let me get into makings, textures, stamps and textures. What are your best bets when it comes to stuff that you want to do the back of, or to make them look like metal for backings and stuff? because the Makings texture sheets, let me switch to display. The good thing about the Makings texture sheets is that they are very cheap. You get 4 textures in one set. Let me make sure which of them. Okay, not this one. I don't know them by heart, which of them. But there are several that I prefer to use in for backings and for settings and for bezels that pretty much look very much like actual metal. And the other good thing is that the Makings textures, see, I like the snake scale, so that would be set D, but you don't have to unless you're doing snakes. The good thing is that you can get them through the pasta machine, and that makes your imprint so much better. In this one, in the set E, there are 2 that I always use as backings, and they do look very metallic-y when you use them on the curly beard and the curly fur. Maybe I'll do something like that. Next live, we'll discuss what textures are good for various things, what you should get or shouldn't get. But yeah, look for the Making texture sheet E. They are cheap, as you can see. They are with Trish, they are much better than on Amazon, and I will post soon because with all the events and with everything going on, I didn't post the contest with the gift certificates. I still have the money for, the stuff for PolyClay Play gift certificates, and with PolyClay Play, if you order $100 worth of stuff, you get free shipping. So usually I want to go on PolyClay Play and buy stuff, but you can see it's $4.85 with Trish, and it's $7 or $9 on Amazon. Again, I need to get in the textures and get it better. But now remember that this is something that you have to use, something like this. Always use and always put it on the clay. You don't want to put it on the texture. You want to put it on the clay, because on the texture they can just pull in the crevices and you don't get enough here. But if you put it directly on the clay, it's going to keep it perfectly. And it's the kind of plastic that's not attacked by polymer clay, because there's some plastic that gets attacked by polymer clay and it gets all sticky and nasty. But no, Makings is made for polymer clay, so they are not at all. But as I said, go and look and make up your mind and all that. And by the way, I wanted to show you in with Trish, because there are some Helen Braille that work also, not all of them, okay, that would work for this specific thing. The ginkgo would work very nicely. Hurly-burly kinda, not really. The roundabout, because it's got all those beautiful lines. The tango would work great. And the Mike Braille too. The Frenzy works. Anything that's more florally, okay? The magic mushrooms. Even the Starburst. I keep saying that I need to get the Starburst. It's such a beautiful one, and it's got the two, an innie and an outie on this one. And yeah, remember that I am a PolyClay Play affiliate. So once again, if you order through my affiliate link, I get, and I don't get money, I get credit towards my store account. And what I use this credit for, of course, some of it I use to buy me materials, but most of this I use for these online contests to get gift certificate prizes for my subscribers and followers on Facebook. The name of this red is Glitter Red, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. And by the way, I emailed back and forth with Trish. She's getting some, because there's a Premo shortage everywhere. And she said she's going to get some. Let me see what she said so I can keep you fully updated. I'm gonna read her email. But I'm going, she still has a lot of Fimo, so if you want to get Fimo, and I'm going to make some canes with Fimo real soon, but she's getting right now blue glitter, sage glitter, latte, sage and latte souffle, beige, white translucent, white, sunshine yellow, cadmium yellow, ultramarine, blue, Premo. She says everything else is back ordered, so it's really bad. Okay, Premo glitter, let's see. Yes, it's red glitter, that's how it's called, but it's out of stock now, so you're gonna have some issues buying a lot of these things. Yes, you can use all kinds of stuff to color the clay. You can even color the clay if you don't have chalk pastels or mica powder or alcohol ink or stuff like that. You can even use eyeshadow and blush if you want. Okay, so let's go ahead and make one of these hearts. So I'm going to make first, this is going to take about this long. So and another thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to get me some going to use this to cut the veneer that's going to go on this, and this you can find it both on Trish's PolyClay Play as well as on the Amazon in the molds category in my influencer store. Try to make sure that your clay is fairly soft, because this is actually not polymer clay mold, it's a sugarcraft mold, and the sugarcraft molds are a little bit too soft for polymer clay, so if you have to press too much they're going to get deformed. So this is going to be my base. Let's cut the extra, and as you can see, because my hands have issues, the pivoting blade gives me less issues with my hands when I try to cut some stuff. Yeah, I hear you, Hazel. Where are you located? Where did you say you are? I'm not sure if I don't have Armor All already in the influencer store. Let me see. I thought I did have it in the tools. check it. If not, I'm gonna have to add it. It's not in all. In Europe, I think that you can still find it. No, it's not here. Give me a second. I cannot order it, add it right now, but you can, if you want to still make me earn, as long as you enter Amazon through my influencer store, anything that you buy before logging off, it's going to still keep my cookie. So I am so sorry, Hazel. It's not really that you did. I'm not sure where. I know that you have a few very good polymer clay artists in Spain. And I think that at least one of them has an online store, so did you try looking on Facebook for polymer clay? You cannot make polymer clay, Nita. Whoever tells you that you can make polymer clay and gives you all that recipe with flour and stuff, that's a kind of bread dough. It's not polymer clay. But I think that if you go on Facebook and look for polymer clay Spain, you might find a group for your area and they can direct you better. What the heck did I do? They can direct you better to what you can find in your country. Okay, don't do this. For the first thing, don't do this. You do not want your polymer clay not to stick. You want it to stick, okay? Yeah, you can make a type of cold porcelain. It's not really cold porcelain, but you cannot make polymer clay. Polymer clay is vinyl particles. You do not have the machinery, and you do not have the material to make your own polymer clay. And it drives me nuts when I see people on YouTube giving, oh, how to make your own polymer clay. It's not polymer clay, it's bread dough. Okay? Let's make things straight. Okay, so you want to use the red. Now, of course, if you don't have the glitter red, you can use the metallic red. You can use even the magenta pearl if you have it, and you can use just plain red. It would look better if you have the pomegranate red. It's going to look much better than the regular cadmium red. Even the chili red, the new color in Premo, is going to look better than the cadmium red. If you have only cadmium red, I suggest you mix a little bit of alizarin crimson or brown or violet, or let me see, what else can you mix in it? As you want to veer it more towards a darker red or more of a purplish red. Okay, so make sure that you press it really good, the way that I showed you before for the metal clay, because what you want to have all those little crevices well filled with your clay. And why you use this? Because if you try to go with your roller over the clay like this, it's going to lift the clay. So if you don't have cosmetic sponges, you can use wax paper instead, you know, like this. This is also that you don't get the clay to lift. Yeah, I mean, the bread dough thing to make stuff is fine for childish clay, so-called clay. Yes, I did that too. Not only that, but I'm originally from an area of the world where we do a lot of bread braiding. Okay, Casimir knows. because they told me Happy New Year in Romanian. So okay, then know that it's not fully filled, so I'm not going to go with the same side that was in. I'm going to flip it over and go some more. I know that originally Lisa Pavelka, who invented the satin slice, recommends that you go bit by bit to fill this up. I tried that in the beginning, but I figured out that it's much faster to do it this way. You still get the same result. So this is how I'm doing my satin slice, and it works just fine. Okay, that was a little bit a mess up. And you might have issues if these things are too wide. Yes, you will get your clay is going to come out, and this might be the problem. This might be a little bit too wide to do satin slice. Let's try again. And yeah, some Lisa Pavelka textures also have a good model. Okay, no, we are doing good. A good model that you can use for this specific thing. My points are not going good. I might have to switch to another texture. This one might not work as good as I was hoping. No, it's not going that good. Sorry, let's try another one. So don't buy this one. Not for this. It's not working very good for this specifically. I'm just lifting up everything that's in to clean my texture plate, and we are going to try another texture plate. Let me see, I had another one here. Let's go ahead and do this, that I showed you to start with. Let's do this on the larger side. Grab another piece of this. Okay. So this would work pretty good, actually. So let's do, or this one is better. This one is larger. Let's do this one. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do the same with polymer clay and cold porcelain, but most of the stuff, not really. You cannot do this thing. You don't have like Cernit in Spain or in Colombia, or you don't have any online stuff? Oh, you have, hold on, you have the PV clay in South America, Anita. I think it's Brazilian, if I'm not mistaken. That should be, and that's a very good polymer clay. You should try looking for it. Let me see, give me just a second. I keep saying that I need to order some, and stuff kept happening. Let me find there. Okay. So they have several kinds. Let me grab on display capture. So this is for South America, okay? And I think they are in Brazil. And this is a very good quality polymer clay. And this is their regular line. They have a lot of colors. They are fairly new. I think they're like 3 or 4 years out. They have stuff for sculpting, various colors. They have pigments, all kinds of mica. They have a gel. So it's a liquid polymer clay. They have varnishes. So they have gloss matte. And what is this? Oh, they have blades. So you might want to look into it. Let me see if they say anything at the... So they are in Brazil. So it might be much easier for you to try and find that. I see that they get a lot of types of online purchase payment gates. Okay, so let's get back to this and finish the little heart before I get too tired to do anything, because I've been going all over the place today. Let me get this off. It's too much. I didn't. Maybe the clay itself is not as good for. I might have to just get red. It's the first time I'm using red glitter, okay? Because I don't normally play with glitter. I'm going to try and get all the extras here. Might not be the proper consistency. Let's get back on it. And let's switch blades. Let me grab a shaving blade. Maybe that's going to help some. I still have some areas where it didn't go in. It's weird. So yeah, if you want to do red glitter, maybe just add some glitter to your regular red, because this one seems, maybe it's the glitter in it. I don't know. Again, I don't use glitter. Most glitter stuff to me looks tacky, but I'm a weird person. Yeah, so maybe it's the glitter. It seems fairly covered right now though. So I'm going to grab a little bit of white and get it a little bit thinner. I'm not going to use a full thickness. I'm going to go on like on a 5 or 6 on a makings. Now your only problem with this is going to be that you need to clean. If you do the red, You're going to need to clean the machine before doing this. I didn't. And this is my, see, I contaminated the white. I'm gonna still go ahead because I'm not gonna stop right now to clean the machine. I need to show you how to do this. Right. What is this? There's something here. Okay, so let's go ahead. And I'm going first to place this. And then I'm going to flip it. And I'm going to use again the roller to make the clay stick to the tile. So that it's going to be easy for me to remove the texture. Oh, come on, stay there. It got too far to the edge. What the heck? I never had so much issues with the satin slice. I just did one half an hour ago. I'm telling you, it's this red glitter. That is the problem. Come on, stay there. What the frickety frack? Doesn't come off. Feels like it made the texture very sticky. Look at this. So yeah, no, don't use the red glitter clay. It sucks. Look at this thing. It made the whole texture sticky. Oh my freaking god. Yeah, don't use red glitter crap. Let's go with the regular. And it's not coming off. Ugh. And if you're asking me how am I going to clean it, I'm going to just let it be for a week until the clay dries out, and then just simply do this. Yeah, it's not a good clay. I'm gonna throw it away. It's not good. Glitter. Ich. Glitter. Okay, let's grab some. So yeah, I threw it in the trash, if you were wondering. Okay, let's grab some regular red. It's actually pomegranate. Okay, and let's go with whatever. This one. I don't think I came up with the glitter clay all the way here. This never ever happened to me, and you can see how where it went. You can see on the see, you can see the edges where it went. It messed up the whole texture. Ugh. Unbelievable. Well, yeah, I never. Hi, Darla. I never. Hi, Tia Lisa. It's Premo. The red glitter clay is Premo. So yeah, see, that's why I always say that Premo is the workhorse, because you can use it for a lot of stuff and you can use it as experimental stuff. But the problem with it is that it's very inconsistent. Not only that various colors differ in quality, but various batches of the same color differ in quality. I mean, people who have done it for a while know very well what issues we had the last 2 years with whites, and then with black, and like 2.5 years ago it was translucent that there was issue with. Okay, I'm just grabbing the thicker stuff. Okay, this one ain't working either. What the? Maybe it's just the red. I tried the other blade. I hope it doesn't give me the same crap as it did with the white, because there's a shortage of white. Yeah, most of it. Yeah, don't expect this to work, to feel perfectly at first try, because it is normal with the very fine lines. It is normal that you won't cover it up perfectly to start with, so that's not a big thing. So I still have a little bit here. So see, just go by where there's areas that weren't covered. So I have one area here, and I have these tiny dots, one here and one here, and then some here. Stay there. Pinch here, and then another area here. Don't try to do it with your fingers, because you're going to grab the clay that's already in with the new clay that you're putting there. Okay, one dot here, and trust me, it's much easier to do it like this than to do it bit by bit. And the longer you work with polymer clay, the stickier your fingers will get. And there we go. This one worked good. Now let's hope it doesn't mess up the white. That's pretty good. Sculpey 3 is great for the trash can. It's really awesome for the trash can. my goddamn fingers are red. I told you red is one of the worst colors to work with because it's going to stain everything. Black is pretty bad, blue is pretty bad, but red is the worst of all. So every time people are asking me about Sculpey 3, I keep saying that's for kindergarteners. No matter how well you condition it, no matter how well you bake it, it's going to break. It's for preschoolers, it's not for professional stuff. Okay, now it should be good. There we go. There we go. I told you it's that stupid red. Okay, so we have this. That is going to go over the heart. Now let's do the... Your best bet is to do bead filling. I mean, whatever beads you want to do, that you want to cover with veneers, that's pretty much the only thing it's good for. Not good for much of anything else. Okay, now I got the long thing here because we need to do the like a little ruffle. But generally don't use it by itself, even as a clay as a bead core. Mix it with like scrap Premo and stuff. Don't use it by itself. So yeah, it probably would have worked with this too, because it was the clay, not the anything else. Alright, let me get this. Let's use not the other one, because this one is fairly good. I think it should be just fine. Let's use this for the ruffle. Let's lift what went in the other line. And this one doesn't have any issues. Let's finish this, because I think I'm gonna need a relatively long one. Okay, I got one spot here. One spot here. And that's pretty much, the rest works just fine. Okay, let me make sure that I got everything properly. Yeah, that should be just fine. All right. No, it's not your clumsiness at all. It's just a kindergarten clay. Not the same as the Chinese clay you can get on Amazon. So you realized why you flip it, because the best way to get it off is to fold the texture over it. Oops. Okay, my bad. I messed up the end. Copy stuff I throw away. Okay, now what I'm going to do is cut this pretty much. Now this is way too thick to use, and of course you're not going to do it. You know, you don't mix food dye is in water. You don't mix water in polymer clay. You either use alcohol ink or you use powder. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to grab this and get it through the same thickness I ran the white in. Okay, and now I'm going to cut thin strips. Two thin strips. That is about the same size, and I am going to put one on one side. Oh, come on, stay there. One on one side, make sure that it goes nice and good. Stuck to the edge. other side. Make sure that it's well stuck to the edge of the white thing. And then we are going to cut this in two, because as I said, it's a little bit too wide. So let's give it a cut in two. Now we have all the elements ready. Oh, come on, stay there. So we have the mold, right? And don't press too hard, because you don't want to make the satin slice lines go down. And you can do it also with white over red. I personally think that the red over white, and another thing that looks beautiful because it makes you think of you know, like the cobalt porcelain, is cobalt blue over white. And that works for other stuff, not just for hearts, but it makes for a very nice Victorian style heart. Okay, so make sure that you got everything properly, and at this point I would suggest that you move your work on a piece of wax paper, so you don't have to, after you attach the ruffle, you don't have to move it too much around. Right, so let me grab a piece of wax paper, and I'm going to grab these, and for the part that's in here you need to make a like a 45 degrees angle. On the two parts that go in. Just very gently start manipulating the clay to go perfectly over your line. I want this to be more towards the inside here. And then place the second one. Just gently convince it to turn this way. Yeah, some, but again, remember, food coloring is in water, it's not in alcohol, it's not in anything, so Generally speaking, adding water to resin or to polymer clay or to anything is not a good idea. Alrighty. And this one is not. And here you want to make sure that they meet in the middle, so even if you need to push it a little bit, you want to make sure that the very top here meets in the middle properly. Now, of course, because you will have a little bit of a thing here that you don't want to be there, you will need another little ribbon of red. So, but this time go on like an 8. Clay and resin are different. You don't try the same thing with them, dear Lisa. If you want effects like that in resin, you drop alcohol ink or just plain alcohol, or low viscosity resin into high viscosity resin. Remember I said the couple lives before that there's the you have the hard resin and the soft resin, and then in both of them they divide further into high viscosity and low viscosity, and there are some patterns and effects that you can obtain with various colors and pigments and alcohol inks and stuff that don't work the same in a high viscosity as it works in a low viscosity. Okay, so I'm gonna go in a 7. Which is very long, but I'm gonna just cut what I need. Yeah, this blade, the long rigid blade, you find it at tinypandora.com. It's actually part of a kit, but I think that you can buy it separately now too. Okay, I'm gonna cut 2 just in case one isn't working, isn't enough, but just for the, I'm going to try and do it with just one. Okay, so let's grab one of these, and you start at the tip, at the wedged part of the heart. Pretty much go with the middle. Hold on, let me grab some Armor All on my fingers, because I'm sticky. Okay. So place it at the wedged part, the bottom part of the heart, then bring it up, and I need my glasses, and the same thing on the other side. And just very, very gently. Now don't cut until you go a little bit like this, because it's going to bring it more in, to make sure that all your I's and T's are dotted. And same thing for this other side. Now, obviously, if I wouldn't work under a camera and that would work, it would come up beautifully perfect, but I hope you get the idea of what needs to be done. I still have a little hole. I didn't get my eyeglasses on when I was doing this. Anyway, you can figure out how this whole thing looks like. And yes, Lisa said you can make pretty miniature jewelry boxes using the heart cutter, and use this pretty much as the lid. You can do that and it will make a beautiful Valentine's Day thing. And then you can make them in much smaller and have them as earrings. This size would be perfect for a brooch or a pendant. And of course you can use pearl instead of white, but I personally think that making it like this, it makes it look the most like lace embroidery stuff. So don't use the red glitter clay. Okay, but you can try it. You can try it in various combinations, but if you do something like this, and now also, as I was telling you, you can do this using, like, for example, gold instead of red and silver instead of white, and you will have a beautifully looking metallic type thing. And then you can put right here in the middle a Swarovski crystal and all kinds of stuff, right? So I hope you enjoyed it. I've been on for like an hour and a half and my back is starting to hurt. And I promise you I'll put a second tutorial next week, but then we'll do something on Sunday again about Valentine. I'm not going to touch other subjects until after Valentine. Yeah, the small food processors work just perfect. But yeah, I wouldn't go with the pastry cutter. Why would you want a pastry cutter to chop clay? Darla, if you want to chop any clay, you don't need a pastry cutter. You just go like you chop onions, you know, you just go why do you need a pastry cutter? There you go. Chopped clay. All you need is your blade. Okay, see you all next Sunday. Have a wonderful what's left of the Sunday. Did you see how long it took me to do this? Like what, 20 seconds? It's not fine enough. It's not as fine as this. And as Elaine said, if you use it on clay, never use it for food. Okay? See you all next Sunday. I love you all. Have a wonderful what's left of Sunday. And be safe, be quarantined, because I want to have you all around for a long time. Okay? Have a great day. Goodbye.